Today's episode of Necronomipod is brought to you by Beardology. There are a lot of imitators out there, but there's only one place I buy my beard oil. Beardology beard oil nourishes your skin and won't leave you with that greasy feel. With over 17 cents available in their extensive product line, I trust my beard to Beardology. You can find Beardology at beardology.co. Use code NECRO15 to receive 15% off your purchase. Beardology. Discover the best way to avoid the shave.
You guys remember when that raccoon climbed up the side of that building?
Yes, and it jumped.
Yeah. It was on live. It was like people had it on live stream.
Like it was probably 4 or 5 stories up, and then it just jumps backwards and it lands and walks away.
Yeah. That was like an all-day thing, and I watched that shit all because I
just saw it on Instagram later.
Yeah, I had nothing to do.
That's like Bree. She was watching that live stream of the giraffe giving birth all weekend.
Oh, fuck that. I watched. Everybody was nonsense.
No, you watch a raccoon try to commit suicide.
I was rooting for him to get to the top. He came pretty fucking close.
I think he was scared, though. Like, he didn't know where he wanted to go, right?
Yeah, I would be fucking terrified.
So last week, we posted a picture, Ian, that you found of, looks like a nice little suburban city street in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Where a dude had I Hate Satan on his car, and Beyonce uses Bible passages as tampons.
Right.
So that was fun.
Well, if she does that, that's just offensive.
I agree.
Not to me, but to some people, maybe.
I was looking into that a little more, too, and supposedly there's some poem that she wrote that this person took
offense to.
I don't know if they took offense to it or they just read it the way they wanted to believe it, but
we had a few of our Satanist followers, Satanists. Yeah, that doesn't Satanists. You Satanists out there, Satanist followers that took offense to that car. Said, I hate Satan. They said, what's the problem with Satan?
I agree.
Yeah.
Modern day Satanism is about self-empowerment.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's modern day Satanism.
That's a love of satin sheets. That's a different...
Well, okay. I'm a Satanist then. So that was Philadelphia, and I think we're going to go back to Philadelphia today for story number 1.
This might be old news to some people because this happened like mid-February, but it's coming up in the next little over a month here. So I figure we could go over this one. So back in February, there was a guy that was handing out these flyers all over Philly, just leaving them in people's doors.
Philadelphia Flyers hockey team.
Oh, yeah. And some people's Ring doorbells caught this guy. He just looked like an older, probably like 40s or 50s.
That's what some people saw him doing it.
Yeah, there was a bunch of Ring doorbells that caught this guy.
He's probably running around the streets looking like one of the Men in Black in the Mothman episode, running up and down the streets.
Was Indra Cole doing this?
He looked like he was having a hard time. He was grunting and stuff and folding these paper stuff. He was having a tough time of it. But so the letter he was leaving people, the top line says ABBA, A-B-B-A, and then it says, this is to inform you that all food ate since first grade is alive in your body, especially the dead animal remains or meat, since it was cooked alive and is alive in your body. Anywhere it goes now, you must go with it. That's 365 days a year from first grade to now. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Also, newborn baby received your first grade body or meal just like the 365 days a year. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
All right, so we're way off the rails here.
The only way I see for you to save yourself from the every which way of being burned alive, that's scheduled, is to be, I mean, it's
hard to read.
Yeah, it's not, it's just nonsense.
Clearly he's a stable individual.
Yeah. That scheduled is to become a solid steel statue by place yourself under anesthesia and mixing your body with melted metal, then resolidifying the metal or seal yourself in cement. When it becomes real to you, you can type it up and have a lot of copies made and then pass them out and post them up.
Are we sure this isn't a Kanye song? Are these Kanye lyrics?
This is better than a Kanye song, Dave. Have you ever heard some of this shit?
All right.
So clearly this is PETA, right? This is PETA trying to tell you not to eat meat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
He gets into it again here. What is needed is a steel furnace where metal can be melted in the bodies of people and animals mixed with the metal to become steel, unable to be hurt. Of course, you'll be sedated first.
Oh, of course.
There will be a meeting on April 27th, 2019, 12 o'clock in the afternoon on the subject of building a steel furnace at 27th and Girard Avenue on the vacant lot. What we need is a bulldozer to dig some ditches and steel furnace equipment. Do attend.
So what we need is for any one of our Philadelphia listeners to attend this and report back.
It's a big, everybody's planning something.
Everyone's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is worldwide now.
What is?
I mean, just everyone that knows about this, because there's a Reddit page for it, and
Yeah, there's
memes, and there's
So a bunch of people are
t-shirts.
going to this event.
they're going to this vacant lot. There's a
But
Reddit.
we need one of our listeners to go and report back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's the Reddit is r/furnace party. And the memes on there are fucking hilarious.
You people are just going to go trash, to like tailgate it, and then go to this thing.
That's kind of what it sounds like.
You ever heard of the Wing Bowl in Philly? I think that's probably a good possibility.
Yeah, I read an article from the other day too, and trying to figure out who wrote this, or
And they've only
whatever.
seen this one guy
Yeah.
passing out the pamphlets.
Do we know how many pamphlets approximately were left? Like
There's
thousands?
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah. Yeah, they were trying, this news thing in Philly was trying to get like a psychiatrist or whatever to comment on the letter, but none of them would. They're like, we can't.
It's gibberish.
Yeah, I mean, when they were like, we can't really diagnose.
You can't
Something.
you can't diagnose them through a pamphlet they
Right.
wrote.
But it's weird. And then
Perhaps
this-
they should get a hold of this guy. He probably needs some medical treatment,
Yeah, I
some
saw they were setting up.
psychiatric treatment.
Somebody was trying to do like a mental health awareness thing on that day, possibly.
Interesting.
But I think
Maybe
it's
that's what
gonna-
this all is. It's a big ploy, and then anyone who shows up, they're like, "You need mental health assessments done," and they're just going to treat them right there on the spot.
Right. I'm sure all the news crews are going to be there.
Oh,
so.
for sure. I saw a picture on the Reddit that there's like a fence going around this thing, and someone put "do attend" like huge going down the whole side of the fence. So people are ready
It's
for
gonna
it,
be
man.
interesting.
What's the date on this again?
April 27th.
They should stream it on pay-per-view.
High
Periscope.
at high
even.
noon.
I'm sure somebody will Periscope.
What day of
it.
the week is April 27th? Do we know?
I have no idea.
Bust out the calendar.
Maybe
real
we should
quick.
do a live broadcast from the scene.
April 27th is a Saturday.
So there you go.
Road trip.
The furnace party in Philadelphia. There's to know what the fuck's going on.
Dude, some of the memes are so funny though. They're fucking hilarious.
Like what?
I saw one where there was like a picture of like a steel statue, like this dude, like a Roman looking guy.
Yeah.
And then there was this other like shitty cement, like stone looking thing from like way back in like just forever, like Egyptian days, but it was all busted up. And it said something like, "When she leaves your cement ass for the steel statue." Dude, they're so funny. But yeah, that's what I got.
So that's the furnace party.
Yeah. So,
April 27th, noon, Philadelphia.
Do we know if this neighborhood is anywhere near Pat's King of Steaks, Philly? So maybe we can go get a cheesesteak
Yeah, right.
and check it out.
I don't think you want to show up there, Dave, with a big sandwich full of meat. You might get shunned.
You think it's a PETA rally?
It might very well be.
That'd be interesting.
People can show up in fur coats and have paint thrown on them and blood or whatever that shit is.
it makes no sense.
No.
It's a complete rambling.
Good story.
Well, it's safe to say we'll probably follow up on this one then.
Oh, yeah,
After
for
April
sure. See what
27th,
happens.
We'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
We'll update our many interested fans.
Yeah. They're all sitting on the edge of their seats wanting to know what the hell's going on.
Waiting for the furnace
Because they don't
party.
look up the news themselves or Reddit. They go strictly through us to get all of their news. Okay. My turn?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I got one a little different. This one's not as funny, and actually the reason why I picked this one is because it scared the shit out of me when I saw it, and I think you guys saw the video too, and it was creepy.
I did. It's a little creepy.
So, this guy, Rob Wakefield, was visiting the village of Stansted, Mount Fitchett, England, a small little village in England. While he was there, he was drinking at one of the local pubs, talking to some of the townies, the local villagers, and they were telling him about this legend that was in their town of a young man who years and years ago was walking along a trail in the woods, and when he attempted to cross over the train tracks, he got hit by the train and obviously was killed crossing the tracks, and they never found his remains. They believe they were thrown into the river from the collision. They got like projected into the river, his remains.
Right.
Never found him. And the urban legend in this village is that his spirit still lurks in the wooded area, and the villagers would often go on walks to go try to find him, like people do with Bigfoot and all that stuff. But the villagers would go try to see his ghost and to see his spirit.
How long ago was the supposed accident?
I looked at it. It didn't say in the article. No. So, my guess is this Rob Wakefield fellow's hearing these stories, having some pints of ale, getting himself nice and liquored up. All of a sudden, he decides, I'm going to go explore and see if I can find this fucker. So he goes, and it's still daylight, but he goes into the woods and he's walking along the path. And it's exactly what you would think of as a stereotypical like English day. It's gray, it's rainy, it's misty. There's like a haze and a fog, just like a damp, wet, cloudy day. And so he's taking some cell phone footage and video and kind of looking around, and it's quiet, and he doesn't really see anything and thinks, oh, this was kind of a bust. When he goes back, and I don't know if it was him or if he sent the video to someone, but when they reviewed the footage, there's a part on his camera where you see this shape or this figure that looks like some kind of being or human, like way off in the distance. And the video that we have that we'll tweet out, and as it zooms in, it looks really creepy, like a freaking ghost.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it has a head and
arms climbing out of the river.
Yeah,
is what I see.
I mean, it's really weird. There was a haze and a mist, and it very well could have been that with the wind blowing, but this just looks really creepy. And we don't usually talk about ghosts too much on this show, so that's why I figured we'd bring it up. Yeah. Talk a little bit about ghosts. Dave, I know you're a big believer in the afterlife and ghosts and all of that, so I was just curious as to your thoughts.
I do not believe in ghosts.
I
imagine that mist blows out of that river, how many times every day, every year, and then conditions just were right that day when the wind blew and it made it appear to be a human form.
Crawling out of the river.
Yeah, like I saw a video the other day of a plastic bag blowing across the street that looked like somebody walking, and everyone was freaking out. I think it's probably similar to that. Did you see the plastic bag video?
I did not see that video.
Looks like legs walking across the street.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
So a plastic a plastic bag blows across the street, 500,000 times. One of those times, it's going to look like somebody walking.
I don't disagree.
This is my thought on this video. It's an interesting video, though.
Your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really believe in ghosts either.
Just aliens, nothing crazy.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, it's a creepy video.
Yeah,
it's cool.
That's why I liked it. It was something different. We haven't had other than the ghost marriages, which is its own fucked up thing.
Yeah,
go back and listen to that episode if you haven't. We haven't had too much ghost talk yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's ghost stories that I want to get into in future episodes for sure, but I don't know.
I don't think I believe in ghosts. It's not really something I've thought much about. Videos like this are always weird because they show something, whether it's just the mist or the fog or whatever. But it's, I think people a lot of times want to believe in this stuff, so they'll take anything they can and run with it and say it's real. And,
you see what you want to see.
Their mind plays tricks on them and tells them that that's what it is. I'm sure the villagers in Stansted, Mount Fitchett probably love this video and think, finally, here's the proof of this ghost.
Well, I also think it's fairly simple to CGI stuff like that these days. So,
do you think this is CGI?
I don't know.
You could easily fake.
I can't tell, but you can fake anything. I mean, you can put yourself in a movie now, and you can do anything with CGI.
I mean, you can hop on YouTube and there's tons of ghost videos that people have faked that look real. Yeah.
That takes away from all the fun of it.
Yeah, it's a big Japanese thing. There's tons of Japanese ghost videos, and they're creepy.
So what are your thoughts? Like, what did you guys think of those Paranormal Activity movies? And they ended up making like 15 of them, and it got really watered down. But like, I thought the first one was terrifying.
The first one, that guy made that movie for like $12,000,
Right.
and it made 100. I mean, it was fantastic. It was a great movie.
It was
I liked
terrifying. It's the movies where you don't actually see what it is that are the most terrifying to me. Like when they don't show a monster or a killer or a ghost, and there's just something.
Yeah,
Or like Blair Witch until the end.
Blair Witch terrified me
Yeah.
as a kid. I think I was like 13 or 14. Terrified the shit out of me.
yeah, it was a good one.
And then I thought the first Paranormal Activity was really good. They ended up making so many of them though that
Yeah, they got
kinda
old. The first one's
shitty.
fantastic.
Yeah, but I really dug that movie.
Implied terror is always much scarier than
Right.
witnessing it.
There's that one on Netflix too. Like it's called The Ritual, I think. It's kind of
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
might
of
have seen
along
that.
the same lines as Blair Witch. I mean, you end up seeing stuff eventually, but it's along the same lines
Okay.
as that. Like you don't really see what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just
Did you guys ever
creepy.
see the movie White Noise with Michael Keaton?
I have.
Where
Actually.
they use like the
try to record
static,
the
smell
spirits?
and record and hear it.
Yeah.
That movie also creeped me out. It's always like these ghost ones or like the ones where you don't see. I guess you do see the ghosts in that near the end. That movie freaked me out.
yeah,
Yeah, I like that creepy stuff.
for sure.
It's
Yeah.
way scarier than like Halloween and stuff like that.
Well, Halloween's best ever, but what about the movie Ghost? It's terrifying. Come on.
Only thing terrifying was that haircut that Demi Moore had in that movie.
Ooh, I don't remember what her haircut was.
Wasn't it real short?
Probably.
I don't remember.
I mean, it wasn't G.I. Jane short. If we're talking Demi Moore. Do you know who Demi Moore is?
Yes, well, I think so. I think I'm not gonna.
She was married to Ashton Kutcher for a hot minute.
And Bruce Willis,
And Bruce Willis.
who was in
Yeah,
Die
but-
Hard.
Yeah, but fuck
But
him.
you don't
Yeah.
know what Die Hard
Fuck
is.
Bruce
so.
Willis.
I don't
You don't
know.
know Demi Moore? That's all
I'm
right.
trying to think. I don't know. Fuck
Sandra
it.
Bullock's still hotter, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who
You don't
Demi
know
Moore is.
'cause you don't know what she looks like. All right. Well, so Dave, you liked Julia Roberts, though, right? Over Sandra Bullock.
Oh, absolutely.
So Julia Roberts or Demi Moore?
It's a harder one.
Well, also, why does she go by Demi? Why isn't Demi?
I don't have that answer available.
Okay. Demi Moore or Demi Lovato? The answer is Demi Lovato. You don't even have to think about that. Stop it. It's Demi Lovato. Do you know who Demi Lovato
I do know
is?
who that is.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Yeah,
Demi over Demi
Demi Lovato.
over Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Well, that's my ghost story. Also, we have a ton of followers on Instagram. Not as many on Twitter. So if you're one of our Instagram followers, get on over to Twitter, follow us at Necronomipod. I'm going to tweet out the link. It's actually from the Coast to Coast AM website that has all kinds of awesome stories. Ian, you sent us that.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So you can check out some of these creepy stories yourself, but I'll tweet out the link to that, and it will also have the video that you can see this ghost coming out of the river or the fog or whatever it might be. So
Cool.
Can you not do that on Instagram?
I don't think you can just post a link. Like we could put it in our profile.
Oh, okay.
You can't put links in the captions, like in like the for each photo.
Got it.
And I guess I would have to learn how to put a video in the actual.
That's why
Instagram.
you're the director of social media, and
Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm gonna have to go take a training seminar. So I guess I'll be expensing that.
Right?
So that's the ghost story.
It's a good one. Check that video out. It's creepy.
Twitter at Necronomipod. All right, Dave.
So I have a story from Smithsonian.com that scientists played music to cheese as it aged, and hip hop produced the funkiest flavor, which I found fascinating.
It actually changed the flavor of
Yeah,
the cheese.
absolutely.
Why's it got to be funkiest?
Because it made a good headline. So last September, Swiss cheesemaker Beat Wampfler, which is a great name in its own, and a team of researchers from Bern University placed 9 22-pound wheels of Emmental cheese, I'm not sure what that is, in individual wooden crates in their cheese cellar. Then for the next 6 months, each cheese was exposed to an endless 24-hour loop of one song using a mini transducer, which directed the sound waves directly into the cheese wheels. So they pumped the music directly into the cheese wheel as it aged.
How long did they pump it in for?
24 hours a day for 6 months.
Okay.
Do you think the ones that were exposed to Creed instantly molded?
100%.
We're gonna have some listeners that are pissed about that comment.
So we've got the classical cheese had Mozart, the Magic Flute. The rock cheese listened to Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. An ambient cheese listened to Yellow's Monolith. The hip hop cheese was exposed to A Tribe Called Quest's Jazz We've Got. And the techno fromage, great writing here, raved to Vril's UV. So then they had a control cheese that aged in silence, while 3 other wheels were exposed to simple high, medium, and low frequency tones. So then the cheese was then examined by food technologists, and they concluded that the cheese exposed to music had a milder flavor compared to the non-musical cheese. And they also found that the hip-hop cheese had a stronger aroma and stronger flavor than the other samples.
I have a question. What the fuck's a food technologist?
Probably some
Just
sort of
glorified taste
chemical
testers?
engineer, I would guess.
But who are they to judge what tastes the best?
Well, you have, wine sommeliers and testers
so.
of it all.
I'm just getting hot about the wrong thing. So
What are you mad about?
Really angry right
just,
out of the gate there.
just call yourself a taste tester, a food technologist. Get the fuck out of here. Food, or your taste tester. So who was the artist?
Tribe Called Quest.
I don't know a lot about
So
Tribe
90s hip hop, early mid 90s. If you're not familiar with them,
Good stuff.
really good stuff. So then the culinary experts, after the food testers, they did 2 rounds of a blind taste test, and their results were the same. The bacteria did a good job. The experts said A Tribe Called Quest cheese was remarkably fruity, both in smell and taste, and significantly different from the other samples.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's wild.
How did that work? They didn't say how this worked.
I don't know.
Something to do with like the airwaves or the beats or like the rumbling.
I don't think they're exactly sure, but bacteria is responsible for the formation of the taste in cheese with the enzymes that influence its maturity. And so the scientist is convinced that humidity, temperature, and nutrients are not the only things that influence taste. Sounds, ultrasounds, or music can also have physical effects.
It's very cool.
It's pretty interesting.
What's your go-to cheese on a sandwich?
I guess it depends on what kind of sandwich. Like just a basic sandwich?
Yeah.
I would just put like the shitty, like if I'm making a sandwich, I just put the shitty,
Like American cheese?
like whatever comes out of the wrap, that's like the cellophane wrapper.
That's not even cheese, though.
No, it's not really. No, it's
Like I'm always a big fan. Like I'll put pepper jack on a lot of them. I like pepper jack as the spice.
Yeah.
I love Swiss
pepper
cheese
jack.
too. Like
I like
Swiss and turkey with a little bit of ranch dressing on it. Oh, it's the best.
I think the moral of the story is that Wu-Tang Swiss ain't nothing to fuck with.
If it would have been like Kanye, would the cheese have just like stood up and threw itself off the table and commit suicide?
It probably would have tasted like fucking Limburger cheese or something. That shit you can't even walk into a room and smell.
Limburger cheese, isn't that why they make the Kanye shoes out of? The conversation last week about your shoes got some interest from people. They want to see your
I'm
Kanye
very
shoes.
surprised by that. Yeah.
We came into the studio today. You have them all lined up. So we're
do.
going to get a picture of all the Kanye shoes that Ian has, and we'll send them out. The
Yeah.
orange and gray ones I kind of dig.
The zebra ones are my favorite.
They all look very comfy.
They're very comfortable.
Do they make those in a wide? Because I have wide feet. It's hard for me to find
You
shoes.
can get the Walmart Kanye ones have those. So tell them the story real quick about the new Kanye ones, the Walmart ones.
Oh, those are the 700s. I think they're the 700, the Wave Runners, but they're the V2 Wave Runners.
And they straight up look like New Balance old man shoes with just like the New Balance rubbed off of it, like the logo.
Yeah, they look like what's his face's Avias, Richard Ramirez. They look,
Except they cost $300.
Yeah.
And this isn't 1984. It's
right
now.
Yeah, I'm surprised people actually even responded to that.
People want to see them. We had a couple people reach out to us wanting to see your Kanye.
The fans demand it.
Your Yeezy shoes, or whatever he calls himself.
Yeah, the greatest artist of our generation.
Okay. All right.
It's a bold statement.
I'm probably gonna get a heat for
We'll
saying
see.
that.
Well, we've already shat on Creed. We said Demi Lovato's the hottest person of all time.
We did not say any such thing.
I indicated it. And that Kanye's the greatest artist of all time.
Yeah,
A lot of falsehoods in this show so far today.
Well, 2 out of 3. So that's that.
yeah.
Furnace Party, ghost stories, and hip hop making funky fresh cheese.
Oh, don't we have a correction on Richard Ramirez from Stefania? Didn't she?
Yeah, Steph sent us about the name.
Yeah, didn't
So,
we
and
say
I think
something
we had
wrong?
solved it off air, but then we never really addressed it on air. So, what was his name? It was Richard Munoz Ramirez.
Leva Munoz Ramirez.
Okay,
We kind of referenced him having two middle names.
two middle names, and
which
he
is
does
incorrect.
not. The Munoz Ramirez is a last name. They just don't hyphen it. It's just not uncommon for them to have
Two last names.
They just wouldn't hyphen it. So that was our correction from Richard Ramirez.
Sorry about that. We don't know anything.
We made it right. Yeah, we don't know. We're just fucking drunk, blubbering idiots.
Yeah.
Okay, we got anything else to share today?
Nope.
No, if anyone wants to do any testing on their own, maybe some Dill Harvati with some gangster rap in your fridge
Be great.
let us know how it turns out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, send us samples. She's in the mail.
Just no Kanye.
Please. All right, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys Sunday.
Cheers.